Hey, Ezra, first of all, thanks for the valuable content you are adding every day. Thanks to your guidance, I've found motivation and the right path to successfully start a small business. How wonderful. I'm so happy about that. Thank you for acknowledging that. For the next Q&A session, I'd like to submit the following questions. 1. What would be the percentage to focus on every social media network for a small/starting business? Example, 40% on Instagram, more content plus engagement to benefit from organic exposure, 30% on Facebook, and 30% on YouTube. It really depends on the the market of the business, right? So if you look at Smart Marketer, I want to show you something. I want to show you something really interesting. That Smart Marketer here is a business that really grew on Facebook. So if you look at Smart Marketer, only this year have I really aggressively adopted Instagram and YouTube. So you can see Smart Marketer, we have 37,000 Facebook followers, which is quite a lot of followers. It's not easy to get up into the multiple tens of thousands. And I'll show you another thing. If I hop into this fan page, and I'm gonna answer your question, but I want to show you something. If I hop into the insights for this fan page and I just look back on the insights and I look back over the last 30 days, let's say, for this particular brand, which is an influencer brand that's based around my persona where I'm amplifying content, you can see we've reached 320,000 unique people on Facebook. We've had 250,000 video views. Our amplification budget dropped a little bit because we were running a sale the month before, so you can see that's 30% lower than the previous month. But that's like the majority of our visibility is happening on Facebook. Now, if you look over here on YouTube, let me see if I can find it. Give me just a moment. So if you look over here on YouTube, I'll just go to our YouTube channel to show you that, I think it's really smart to focus on one channel first. You can see we only have 10,000 subscribers, so that's 1/4 of the subscribers that we have on Facebook. If you look at the About, you can see all time we've had 1.3 million views, whereas Facebook, we're getting literally over here, 250,000 views a month. Though Facebook counts a view at 3 seconds and YouTube counts a view at 30 seconds. But you can see that even though we put all of the videos that we produce out onto YouTube for people to consume them, that on average, organically, if you just look at organically, we're getting about 500 views a video. And then the videos that we amplify, like this one here, will get like 12,000 views. So we're probably doing a 10% of our amplification budget on YouTube for this brand. Now, what we're finding is that actually a lot of business owners and entrepreneurs and things like that are on YouTube. So we're going to up our amplification budget to probably about 25% of our amplification budget will be on YouTube. But right now, for Smart Marketer, what we're at is, I would say, 80%, 85% Facebook, 10% YouTube, and 5% Instagram. Now with Boom, we're more like 99% Facebook. Like Boom, our audience really isn't that far on YouTube yet. Well, they're on YouTube, but we're not really amplifying that much on YouTube or Instagram because women over 50 just don't tend to hang out on Instagram, but they do hang out on YouTube. So Boom, we're shooting for 80-20 this year, 80% on Facebook and 20% on YouTube, and we're really upping the budget of Boom, and I'll show you that. Watch this. And I'm going to give you a suggested amplification budget in just a moment, but I want to actually go ahead and show you the difference in Boom, right? So let's look at Boom's insights here. This is Boom's insights here. The last, let's say, 28 days, we can see 4.5 million video views, reached about 4.6 million individual people in 30 days, right? So almost 5 million women every month are seeing our stuff. Now you come over here and you take a look at our YouTube channel. We'll just go over to YouTube here and we'll go to the About just to see total views all time. And you can see, again, only 1.2 million views all time. Our organic videos over here are only getting 150. So it has about half the subscribers of Smart Marketer, 5,000 subscribers, and about half the views organically. So if you take that barometer and you say, Smart Marketer over here with 10,000 subscribers is getting 500 views, Boom over here with 5,000 subscribers is getting about 150 views, you can kind of see how many organic views you'll get when you post videos based on the number of subscribers. But really it comes down to amplification budget. And what you can tell with Boom is we're really at this point not really spending any money on YouTube. YouTube. But that's going to change. We're going to shoot for 80-20 on Boom this year for YouTube amplification and 80-20 on Smart Marketer as well for Facebook versus YouTube amplification. Now, my advice to you with this question of if I was starting a new brand, if my demographic was heavy on Instagram, i.e. millennials, I would probably go, somewhere in the realm of maybe 45-45-10 or 40-40-20, so 40% Facebook, 40% Instagram, 20% YouTube. The reason I would do more on Facebook and Instagram is because, Facebook and Instagram, what's cool about them is they're both managed through the same amplification interface. So what I mean by that is that the interface, the self-service ad platform that we are using to amplify our content is this thing you're looking at right here. It's the Facebook Business Manager. Now, if I pop into our amplification ad set. So I'm going to go ahead and grab into the page post engagement ad set or campaign that was created here on January 30th, 2018. You can see that's the name of it. If we look at this campaign, what we can see that the objective is post engagement. So we're looking to get engagement with our posts for these ads that are running in here. And I'm running again, subscribers, non-purchasers, buyers in the last 365 days, fans. I've got some good budgets here, $200 a day. So I'm spending about $650 a day, only because I'm a big brand, and I can afford to spend that much on amplification in the loyalty pillar, i.e. meaning amplification of content to people who've engaged with me in the past, because it's a very successful brand, whereas Smart Marketer might only spend, $50 a day on each of these ad sets, and you might only spend $5 a day when you start. You can see this is the ad here, Meet Pat. And basically this interface that I'm using to run these ads, this ad right here to those folks is also used to run Instagram ads. So you really only need to learn one interface to be able to adopt the two main channels, which are Facebook and Instagram. So, the thing to understand where you're like, well, hey, Ez, why wouldn't you go heavy on YouTube? And it's like, YouTube works really well and it's great. And I do recommend getting there. And look, we're 3 or 4 years into content strategy, maybe like 7 for Boom and 5 for Smart Marketer actually into content strategy. And we're only now heavily adopting YouTube because there's a lot to be done on Facebook and Instagram. And I would rather be a arrow than a shotgun. Here's what I mean by that. I'd rather shoot an arrow right through the target. I'd rather go deep than wide. Do one thing really, really well. I mean, boy, 4 out of 5 people in America, maybe more, are on Facebook. So if you can reach everyone there, take advantage of that channel first. So I would start with Facebook and Instagram really heavily, maybe 80 to 90% of your budget. And I would the other thing to think about, this is actually a really phenomenal question because here's the other thing to know. The reason why Smart Marketer is so heavy duty on Facebook is I want you to see something here. Look at this. When we look at content strategy, take a look at this. This is really interesting. So when we look at the videos on Smart Marketer, let's look at the last 30 days. Okay. Well, you know what? Let's look at the last actually for Smart Marketer. Why don't we go back to like the beginning of this year? Let's start at the beginning of this year. I want to show you something interesting. We'll just look at all the videos. We'll go ahead and update that, and we'll go ahead and sort these by minutes viewed. And I want to show you something on why we are so heavy in the direction of Facebook. Look at this. 18 minutes, 43 minutes, 58 minutes, 7 minutes, 6 minutes, 1 minute 39, 2 minutes and 13 seconds, 8 minutes and 38 seconds, 11 minutes, an hour and 23 minutes, 19 minutes, 9 minutes, 8 minutes. I'm producing a lot of long form content. Look at this. This is the first video 1 minute long that would be relevant for Instagram. So for us, for this particular brand, and it's the same for Boom, we enjoy and are good at long form content. And when we get into creation, I'm going to talk about long form content versus short form content. But if you're doing long form content, it works on Facebook because Facebook, you can post long term content. For Instagram, you can only post 1 minute videos. So if you look at my Instagram feed over here, you'll notice that all the videos that I post are only going to be 1 minute videos. By the way, if you don't follow me on Instagram, it's instagram.com/Ezra Firestone. Please follow me. I got a lot of real fun stuff I post. It's a real behind the scenes look at my life. I post stuff. Like this was the interview I was at today. These guys were shooting $100 bills around. This is where we're staying in Miami. We saw this advertising boat. I'd never seen that before. I'd never seen a screen being advertised on the water. And then like a minute later, I saw a banner flying by. It was just being advertised at from every angle. So I'm mad respect to all these advertisers out there. I don't know how well that worked. I'd rather run a Facebook ad myself. And this is my brother. I turned my back for 1 minute and he shows up with like a 7-foot skateboard. But anyways, the thing I wanted to point out was that if you look at the videos on here, like for example, this one, you'll notice what I did here was you can only have a minute. So I cut this 7-minute video into like 3 parts of a minute each so I could have 3 minutes of video content because Instagram lets you upload little, and I'll show you this in the creation of the syndication phase. But the point is, the point I was getting at, and I believe that showing more is better than showing less. I wanted to give you context, but the point I was getting at was that, that here, on what percentage do you want? It's going to be dictated by the length of your content and also your market. If you're selling to millennials, you're going to want to have more Instagram exposure. And I would also recommend, if you have long form content, cutting out 1-minute clips, syndicating them to Instagram and using that. But I really think it's market dependent. But I will tell you, I would focus a minimum of 80% of your effort on Facebook and Instagram, if not all of it, because with Google, you have to learn a whole new ads interface. And it's a lot of work to have your team members, the people on your team who are going to implement this, be dealing with 2 different self-serve ad platforms, right? Because YouTube's a whole other ad platform that you have to learn. And frankly, Facebook's ad platform, this ad platform right here is way more intuitive and way easier to use than Google's. It was built after Google's. They learned from Google's mistakes and they made the user interface way better. So even though I'm going to show you how to use Google, I'm going to teach you about that user interface. I'm going to show you how to amplify content, and I'm going to show you how we're, running ads to our videos, where we got some videos on here that got 437,000 views, for example, this video, right? Boom's got videos that have a lot of views as well. So I'll show you how we're doing it, but I hope that answers your question. That was like a 10-minute answer, but it's a great question.